Dr. Kojo Pomponi Asante. Dr. Asante, thank you. Head of Programs, thank you so much for coming. Also, we have the lead for the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, the National Coordinator, Mr. Albert Ahen. Mr. Ahen, thank you so much for coming. Thank you very much.
You actually left out your best friend, who is just there. So
I was
quite surprised.
That because if I don't do it on Saturday,
You'll be in trouble.
He will
which
call
is why
me
I'm
out
reminding
on key
you.
point.
Yes.
And so, please, ladies and gentlemen, a special welcome to Professor Ransford Jampo. He's a political science professor at the University of Ghana, Legon. Professor Jampo.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I like
welcome.
that you're smiling. And I'm sure we'll continue to smile all through. But let me also say thank you to Duke Mensah Opoku. He's, of course, one of us, but he's also the political officer, political and governance team, British High Commission. He's also here. It's good to see you again, brother. And we hope you'll be coming often. Yeah?
That's right. Also, all of you here and present, thank you so much. We're going to be acknowledging a lot more of you as we go on. Thank you for making the time to be here.
Well, at this point, we will invite them all those representing various political parties and, of course, associations, to give us a word on what they expect ahead of the 2024 general elections. And so I think we will have to invite Mr. Fred, first of all, from the Electoral Commission to give us a word. And after that, we'll go to the others. Thank you. Please put your hands together for him as he joins us.
Thank you very much, Bella. And thank you. Is it Nene or Neo Kansi? It's Nene Kansi. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. On behalf of the Electoral Commission, I would like to commend Media General and the executives for this platform at Adisanwe to say something to Ghanaians. As you are aware, since 1996, the Commission has fully delivered on its mandate in conducting free, fair, and transparent elections to the good people of Ghana. I must say that this is our history as Ghanaians, and this is our history as the Electoral Commission. The Commission would like to assure Ghanaians that with the grace of God and the support of Ghanaians, especially our stakeholders, including Media General, as we try to cross the bridge in December 2024. Once again, the Commission assured that we're going to get it right. Ghana is the country God has given to us. As we are doing everything possible in planting Ghana, let us all nurture Ghana and preserve the peace for ourselves and the generations to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fred Tete. Very brief and precise.
Precise indeed.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Also, let me acknowledge the presence of Musa Dankwa, is Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, one of the major partners in this election going forward. Mr. Dankwa, please give us a wave. Thank you. Thank you, lead pollster in this country. Also, we have Nana Ohene Into. He's a senior advisor to the leader of the Movement for Change, Alan Kojo Chamanting. Nana is always in his heart. Vintage. Nana. Let's put our hands together for Nana Ohene Into. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, we'd like to invite Mr. Peter McMenu, and he is the former chair of the NPP, pardon me, and he would also give us a word right before we move on to our next special guest. Please put your hands together for him.
Good morning. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are in the election mood. Said we have 100 days to election. Election needs peace. We cannot go into an election in any manner of violence that would threaten the stability of this nation. So I would like to call on all of us, Ghanaians, to stop hate speech. Hate speech is dangerous during elections especially, and it has brought many countries in Africa into wars. We should avoid that. We should avoid disinformation and misinformation. And let us treat each other, whether you are in the same party or in different party, with civility and decorum. It's a contest of ideas. Put your ideas across. Ultimately, the voter, which is the voter who is the heartbeat of any elections, will decide. And we have an umpire in the person of the Electoral Commission under the Constitution of the Republic to be the decider. That's all we are going in for. Because the peace and stability of this country is critical for the next level of development. I thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter McMahon. Thank you. Next, to give us a brief message is a representative of the NDC, the Deputy National Communications Officer, Godwin Akogan. Please, I will make welcome Mr. Akogan. Let's put our hands together for him. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and then good morning to all of us. Let me first say we are in this together. I would wish all your media house, the media general well. I would wish all your journalists well. As a political party, we can assure you of our partnership. Your journalists will be safe around our premises and as we tour this country. And that is the assurance that I will give to you. And it's my prayer that the streets of Ghana will be safe for all of us as we tour this nation with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akogan. And yes, we are preaching peace because at the end of the day, we have a country to live in and we need peace in order to survive. And so as you're out there as well, make sure that you stay as far away from hate speech as possible. Now, let's invite the special advisor to the founder of Movement for Change, Nana Ohene Into, to also give us a word. Please put your hands together for him. Can do better. Let's do better and encourage him as he joins us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank TV3 and Media General to start with for inviting us to this event and then also generously giving the movement a platform to present our case, because when Alan launched the movement, for quite some time, we were basically blacked out of the mainstream media. So when TV3 and a few others opened up, we realized that some section of our society are ready for change. They are ready to support the change that we so very critically need. Thank you. Alan wants to send a message to all of us that we are at a very critical junction as a nation, and that our development is not just about political parties. It is about leadership that will bring great transformation to our nation. And just as TV3 and Media General has taken the lead, we pray that other media outlets would also embrace this new narrative, because it is for the good, not just of Alan Chemating or Hininto, but for the nation. Because truly speaking, our nation needs radical change and transformation. We also want to appeal to the Electoral Commission that now that the independent is here to stay, the Electoral Commission should not wait and say that we have to register as an independent, submit our nominations before the Electoral Commission can deal with an independent perspective. It is a phenomenon that is recognized, and we want to use this platform to appeal to the Electoral Commission. We also want a copy of the provisional register, because you expect us to bring you the nomination forms filled according to all the rules, finding signatories in the districts who are qualified. And if we don't have the register, how do we also confirm? So please, we are a part of this enterprise, and a very important part. After all, IPAC, for example, is not a statutory body. It is by the Electoral Commission's own discretion. So I'm sure that the Electoral Commission can use the same discretion to recognize those individuals who have put themselves up to serve this nation at that level. Having said this, I want to once again thank Media General and TV3 very sincerely. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in this enterprise.
Thank you very much, Nana Ohene Into. Thank you for those kind words. Also, to speak for and on behalf of the CPP, the former General Secretary, Nanaya Jantua, please. Shall we make welcome Nanaya Jantua? Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I do commend Media General for this intervention. It is a great one, and at least it brings us up to speed on issues when the elections are going on. I want to say that as the CPP goes for our Congress to choose our flag bearer, the cycle will be complete. By the 4th of September, the CPP will choose a flag bearer who will compete on our behalf. I want to say that we need peace. We need to hold this country intact. We need to put this country together. Elections is not a battleground. It's not a place where we draw swords. It's a place where we decide to choose somebody that we all want to lead this nation. It is woefully unacceptable for anybody to lose their lives because of an election. We should not accept it. We should not let it happen ever. And we should ensure that every Ghanaian is protected, whether young or old. For a 15-year-old to lose their life in 2020 cannot be repeated. We are going into another election. 4 years down the line, 8 people died. We have not been able to find out who killed them. Everybody needs justice. And there is the need for us to ensure that justice is done. We should preach peace. We should do peace. We should exact peace. That on 7 December 2024, this country should be intact. Yenara Assassini. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nanaya Chimpim Jantwa, let me help you. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Nanaya Chimpim Jantwa, the former General Secretary for the CPP. And she says, let's preach peace, let's do peace, and exact peace. And by the end of the elections, Ghana should be intact. I know you believe in that as well. Now, we'll take our final message, and then we'll move on to the rest of the activity for today. We have the Executive Director for CDD Ghana, Dr. Kojo Asante, here. And so please, let's welcome him on stage so he can also just spend another minute or so speaking on the upcoming general elections. Please, let's appreciate him as he comes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me correct. I'm not the executive director of CDD. My boss, Professor Kwesi Prempe, will be worried if I'm impersonating him. Thank you for the opportunity. I think it is heartwarming to attend these launches. I've attended a few this year already from other media houses, and I think it's a reflection of how far we've come, particularly the media, and the work that they have done in the Fourth Republic around elections. They're getting more professional, supporting the dissemination of information, education for our citizens. And so it's to congratulate Media General for almost upping the stakes again for this year. I think for me, the media is going to be very important, particularly in educating voters as we go into the election. A lot of the challenges we have is just because people lack knowledge on even basic things like voting procedures. So we should use all our mediums, both English language, local language, to educate people as much as we can. But the other thing that we have to fight against is misinformation and disinformation. And if all the media houses are able to come together, we should be able to mitigate this really difficult challenge that is becoming something that really can damage elections. So we are willing to continue to work with you with the elections coming. We want to appeal to Ghanaians to respect the work of journalists. People don't realize that there's a lot of young people who are in journalism, and probably the first time they will actually interact with the governance process. And if they get beaten up or intimidated or, maimed because they are, interacting with the governance process, I think that really is disturbing. And we should do everything to make sure that everybody gives respect to journalists. So it's one of the things, it's not just the political parties, but ordinary citizens, when they see media come around, ask them questions and so on. They shouldn't antagonize them and so on. So thank you very much for this opportunity. We are looking forward to a great partnership as we head to the elections. We've already called for peace, but I would also entreat that as much as possible, we are all professional in the work that we do and try to be accurate, not always first. Accuracy as much as possible because of the stakes that we have in front of us. So thank you for the opportunity, and I wish you all the best for the coming months.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Kojo Asante, and he is the Director of Programs and Policy Engagement at the Center for Democratic Development, Ghana. Thank you for that alert as well.
Indeed, and we do appreciate those kinds of words of we here at Media General upping the stakes, and we will continue to do that and sustain it going forward. Thank you, Dr. Kojo Asante. And now we're going to cross over to Studio C, where we'll take you across the country, specifically to the northern region, to the western region, and also to some parts of the central region as well as the eastern region. We're going to give you a clear idea of how we intend to go around this, ensuring that we have our footprints across the country in all 16 regions. Just give you a sneak peek of it. Eric Maiwa and Kemini Amano standing by in Studio C.
Indeed, thank you so much, Alfred and Bella. We here at Media General are relentless in our coverage of the elections. We've got correspondents and stringers scattered across the country, only to bring you very accurate information as far as the elections is concerned. Let's connect with some of the voters now, Maula.
Absolutely, and we can take you to the Savannah and the Ashanti regions, very distinct regions in terms of their make. Starting perhaps with the Savannah region, carved out of the northern region in 2020. And for the first time, we saw how the voting pattern looked like. It's largely been a stronghold of the NDC, but gradually we're seeing the NPP gain grounds continuously. And then we can talk about the Ashanti region. Traditionally has always voted NPP. In fact, this year, they're targeting 85% of the vote with the belief that should they get that, the job will almost be done. And so we can't take you to those two regions right now.
The Savannah region is one of the 6 newly created regions in 2019. Now, the Savannah region is made up of 7 constituencies. That is Salaga South, Salaga North, Daboya Mankarago, Yape Kusogo, Damango, Solatuna Kalba, and the Bole constituency. Now, let me tell you about the dynamics in the Savannah region. Now, remember that the Savannah region is the home region of the NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama. Now, between 2012 and 2016, the 7 constituencies making up the Savannah region did not have a single MP from the ticket of the NPP. Now, in 2016, the NPP managed to win the Salaga South constituency, becoming the only constituency that had an NPP representation in Parliament. In 2020, the NPP lost the Salaga South constituency to the NDC, but managed to win 3 different constituencies in the region. That is the Damango constituency, the Daboya Mankarago constituency, and the Salaga North constituency. Now, in the presidential elections before 2020, because the Savannah region belonged to the previous Northern region, and even though the NDC had won overall in the Northern region, but the NPP has been able to appreciate some level of votes when it comes to the presidential. Take, for instance, in 2020, the NPP's President Akufo-Addo garnered some 80,000 plus votes, representing 39.17%. While the NDC's John Mahama, who hails from the region, polled over 144,000 votes, representing some 61%. Now, going into the 2024 elections, voters, electorates in the region believe that the developmental interventions of both political parties over the period will be a considering factor for them to vote either of them.
I would say it's going to be a crucial elections. In fact, a make or break elections for Ghana. Because here is the case we are looking at. We are going to choose between the past and the future. And I believe that everybody would like to choose the future rather than the past. Looking at Savannah region and taking into cognizance the development that this region has gotten under the NPP government, there is no way the people of Savannah region and Ghana for that matter wouldn't give His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the NPP parliamentary candidates in the Savannah region an opportunity in the 2024 elections.
We can reasonably attribute President Mohammed's vote in Savannah region dwindling or reducing because of the fact that he had finished the 8-year term of the NDC. Now he's coming to rescue Ghana, reset and to build. What is going to inform the voter is going to be based on developmental projects. We have launched our manifesto, and that manifesto is packed. It's so packed with a lot of life-changing activities that is going to turn the fortunes of everybody around in this country. What is going to inform the electorate decision is going to be based on the fact that President Mahama has been visionary, he's been a nation builder, he has given us a road for which no...
The last 2 elections in the Ashanti region have provided some twists and turns, especially between the 2 most decorated political parties under the Fourth Republic, the MPP and the NDC. In 2016, the MPP enjoyed some 76% of vote share in its stronghold here, the Ashanti region. But in 2020, it dropped from 76% to 71%. On the other hand, the NDC enjoyed some level of appreciation in 2020. In 2016, from 23% of vote share in the Ashanti region, the NDC appreciated from 23 to 26% of vote share. Now, 47 constituencies are up for grabs. Currently, the NDC has 4 of the constituencies. 1 is in the hands of an independent candidate, and that is Fomina. So if you're talking about the NDC's constituencies, we are talking about Setre Afram Plains or Drobonso constituency, Edra constituency, New Adubiase constituency, and of course, the almighty constituency which has been very loyal to the NDC, even within the heart of the Kumasi political, greater Kumasi political enclave, the Aswase constituency. Going into the December polls or the 2024 elections, the MPP is targeting 85% of vote share in the Ashanti region. Look, it has never happened before.
So that's a brief of the Ashanti and Savannah regions, key regions really which will play a part in how the voting patterns all comes to an end by December 9th, thereabouts, where the expectation will be that a final declaration will be coming through. But they are not the only regions. We're going to touch base on other ones.
Yes, and I have the pleasure to introduce the swing regions, Western and Greater Accra region. Greater Accra region having the biggest voter population as of the last election. We also know that the Western region, you could call it a kingmaker region, based on the electoral trends from 1996 to now. It would appear that it's a good spot for people to win the election there and then also nationally. You can say the same for the Greater Accra region.
Absolutely.
Only in 2020 we saw a difference over there
slight
when John
change.
Dramani Mahama won the Greater Accra region, but lost in the Central region and lost the national election. And so Greater Accra voters are deciders. But a group also within the Greater Accra region, the Abosokai traders, who contribute quite a chunk of the vote population in the Greater Accra region. They are influencers in the Greater Accra votes. They have a lot to say, and we've been connecting with them. Let's take a listen to them. From there, we'll talk to the Takoradi market traders, the women who ensure that, the economic activity of Takoradi goes on smoothly. Let's take a listen.
So this is Abosokai. Apart from it being one of Ghana's leading hub for spare parts of any other vehicle, manual, automatic, big or small, it has also become one of the deciding areas when it comes to elections in the country, especially for the Greater Accra region. Policies spanning from stability of the city, reduction of import duties, and any other policy you can think of. Politicians talk to Abosokai spare parts dealers before they fashion out their policies. This afternoon, we are asking these business people, 100 days to the election, have they decided who they are voting for and what to influence their vote? And also, TV3 is launching its election command center. What are they expecting of us to tell them so they are able to follow the election? Pipacho, Monemenkasa. TV3, yeah, launching an election command center. You can't TV3, I then about 3 months, then I'm sure we're in chance a bit to me, about why I bet to me follow me, Miss Atwell.
Oh, maybe dear. About we, you are ready, say, a do so I have a quack. You will be back. And I hear bed, me say, you will be back and meet you. If you are near me, a year, mamma, I know na mad and make us. Namatoma, by which I say, remember you know USS. First one, between admission fee to school fees. Nina no, na a hunchie room, and so me bombarding I then. Second one, meant to have me banning them to
again a money to me name.
Near money to me name Munie, and she share pa, Nanado the buyer, or so be a banner that could be uncle school will be 3 H's. This say, me back me every year. I big actually. I say me send Pia woman womuko. Na me send ya so mfaso. Nti anu nti ne meto ma bama MPP.
National swear.
Me dey adaba kwa me hu well any to so person kunya. Mama nya ne kwa na e be ma. Odi presenter e be
There are some constituencies here in the Western region. Currently, the NPP occupies 9 out of these constituencies. Now, in 2016, the NPP had 13 seats, but lost 4 out of it in 2020. Political watchers are watching keenly to see how the elections will turn out this December. The two political parties are very, very heavy on the ground here. Now, the hottest seat are the Sikado Ketan constituency, where the incumbent Joe Gate is not going again. It is very, very tough because the NDC seem to be gaining some ground, even though it is an NPP stronghold. Two places where they usually swing are the Shama constituency and then Evaluate Ajomorajura constituency. When it comes to the Greater Sekondi Takoradi, it is an NPP stronghold. We talk about Sikado Ketan, Sekondi, Takoradi, Efia, Kwesimintim. As you move out, Impoho is an NPP stronghold. We have a Hunter West, which swings, but usually it's an NPP seat. But from Wasa East is NDC, and then as you move up, apart from Takwa in Swayim, you meet NDC seats. Now here in Greater Sekondi Takoradi, people want to know what is happening to the Takoradi Market Circle Store project, what is happening to the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, and then what is also going to happen to the Center for National Culture edifice, which has become an eyesore here in the metropolis.
Well, so those are some voters and voter concerns from the Western and Greater Accra region. But there's more here. Remember, I told you from the beginning, this is where the action happens on television. Mawina is on standby to show us a few things. What's
Absolutely. And this is why we say we're the Election Command Center, because in here will be exclusive analysis that we will continue to bring to you all throughout the election coverage, and just give you a snippet of what it is that you can expect. A preview of some of the data in relation to the Western region and the reason why we continue to make the argument that it is one of the swing regions. If you win that region, you're likely, more often than not, to be winning the presidential election. And we walk you down the road from 1996, where we saw the NDC win, and they eventually won that election. In 2000, it changed in the runoff. They gave it to John Ajekum Kufuor in that runoff, upped it in the first round, I should say, and upped it to 62.5% in the runoff. It continued in an upwards trajectory in 2004. Interestingly, in 2008 as well, where we saw the NDC win. Initially, they were giving it to the NPP, then candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But in the runoff, we saw the NDC's Professor John Evans Atamil Saleh win that particular region. It continued in 2012 with John Mahama. Then the NPP came back strongly with 55.8% in 2016. And then in 2020 as well, they won again. But that's just a preview of what it is that we can expect. But we have a specially designed website for you as well. For you at home who is watching, if you want this data that I've been walking you through, and to be able to walk through the analysis for yourself, this is the website you're supposed to be at, ecc.3news.com. You'll find everything elections in relation to the lead up to the December 7 polls. And what we have is just a preview of what the 2020 elections look like. And you see, comparing 2016 and 2020, you see that net loss of some 1.91% by President Akufo-Addo. It became a subject of conversation because more often than not, in the second term of a certain president, we see their votes appreciate. That didn't happen with John Mahama, who lost about that 1 million difference in 2016, saw a net gain of 2.41% in the 2020 elections. And so this is why we continue to make the argument that we are your election command center. We can take it back to the executive theater where my colleagues Alfred Okansi and Bella Mundi are on standby.
Opportunity to participate in electing our people who will serve us, the president and parliamentarians. We want to do this because we have chosen democracy to be our form of government. And so I appeal to all Ghanaians that listen to the messages that are being shared. People have various ideas, and you also have your idea. So listen to what is being said, ask questions, interrogate the issues, and when the day comes, vote for the one who you think will deliver the goods. And we need to do that in peace and not in pieces. It is only when we have peace that we can solve our problems, plan for our future, and develop our country. Countries that have gone to war or have been thrown into chaos because there were no peaceful elections take a very long time to recover. We don't want to go there. Let's choose peace for development. What a joy it is to know that there are so many ways of getting to know the election results. We commend Media General for what they've been doing. Election Command Center. Do a good job. Keep the analysis and let the citizens know that Ghana is a fantastic country where we believe in credible, transparent elections, free and fair. And you make it possible because you are on the scene reporting real time what is actually happening. Media General, we're looking up to you and we expect the best coverage and analysis from you. God bless you as you serve God and country.
As we approach the elections, I will want all Ghanaians to seriously consider a conduct, personal conducts that will be in conformity with the rules and the laws of elections. We should not seek to undermine the process through any provocative speeches or statements or actions, so that in the end we can have a very successful election. I know that we have some serious challenges with the electoral process itself, but it requires a collective responsibility of all of us to ensure that the right things are done at the polling stations and beyond. So my appeal is that all of us must be mindful of our conduct and statements that may provoke negativity from the other side as we approach the elections. So let us all bind together to make sure our country comes out of this process.
Thank you very much for all those kind words as well, and from Reverend Dr. Fred Diegbe, and then also we have Professor Bafo Ajemendia. Thank you so much, and we gave you a clear idea of why we're your election command center, Akoma FM and Kumasi and beyond, also Connect FM in Takrady and beyond, TV3. We're live right now on 3FM 92.7 as well on TV3 Ghana. We're on Onia FM as well, 95.1. And Onia TV across all the platforms. We are your election command center.
Yes, indeed. And we have also introduced some programs and segments within our programs just to prepare the audience for the general elections. And so you'd realize that over the last couple of months, we've been engaging the community. We've been engaging representatives from the various political parties as well, just to get a fair understanding of what the needs are of constituents, and also giving the chance to these parliamentary candidate aspirants and the candidates incumbents as well, and government officials to react to some of these concerns. And so we'll run you through a number of these programs that we have activated.
We'll start out with Election 360. It's one of our new programs after today. You're going to be seeing on TV3. It's a 1-hour election analysis program where we'll bring you up to speed with all the numbers, the trends from 1992 to date, what the trends say, what's the story within the trends, and the exclusive analysis as well. What are the polls pointing to, and what we should be expecting in the next 100 days going forward. So that's Election 360. It's going to be live on TV3.
And for those of you who have been watching TV3 New Day, you'd realize that we have also introduced a new segment, which is Community Manifesto. And so over the last 2 months, we've been visiting various communities. We have traveled far and wide, and we continue to try to cover as many constituencies as possible. Now, we're engaging with constituents to find out what their most pressing needs are. And over time, we've also had parliamentary candidate aspirants and the incumbents, as well as the assemblies, also make an appearance at the various constituencies to respond and react to some of these concerns. And it's been great so far. And so look forward to many more exciting episodes of Community Manifesto every morning. It's a 1-hour, 30-minute show.
To the extent that democracy certainly has that, we'll have leaders elected through a process. They present their manifestos with promises. And what we do on Manifesto Check, which is a segment on Ghana Tonight, which I host at 10 p.m. on TV3. My colleague Dennis Barberi Wedam comes through analyzing the various promises within the manifestos of the MPP, NDC, and now Movement for Change, your GTP. We're going to be into a lot more of those analysis going forward, just to test the pulse of the people as to whether they believe in what the politician has said they will do, whether they have done what they said they would do, and then also given an idea of what has been done previously. That is manifesto check.
At this point, we'll take a look at some snippets from Community Manifesto and Election 360 before we carry on.
Elections are not just about the parties and personalities. It is everything that matters. It is a butter and bread decision for many. The right proportion of everything you care about. That's why your team of experienced hands are ready to serve you a delicious and balanced diet of election analysis, coverage, and insight like no other platform. This is Election 360.
Very exciting content, and yes, we're gearing up for the 2024 general elections. But this is not all we have in store for you. We also have other programs that we're going to be talking about, and one of them is the Female Factor, also on TV3 New Day. And so every Wednesday, you'd realize that we give the platform to women who are aspiring to take up positions in government, and of course, women who already have taken up positions in government, to also speak about the need to have female representation at all levels. And that's one of the major programs that we have also lined up ahead of the elections.
We have also Constituency Watch, is a segment on the news bulletins, which would have the reporters going into the various constituencies, speak to the constituents, gauge their mood, and give us an idea of the expectations going into the elections.
Then we have By the Numbers. And so for those of you who also like to crack the numbers, we're giving you all these details right here on TV3 as well. And so it's on News Central every afternoon. We take a look at the numbers and how that also relates to the socio-economic needs of the people within the constituencies.
Then we have Hot Issues. Hot Issues is a weekly program. It's on Sundays at 2 p.m. It's a 1-hour program hosted by Kemini Amano, engaging one-on-one politicians and also the persons who lead policy in this country.
Now, for those Gen Zs who are wondering if there's anything that should excite them as well, we have a new show also, Fresh Voters. And this is a podcast on 3news.com and all our socials. And it engages all young people in the country as well as first-time voters to find out what their thoughts are on the upcoming elections, if they're satisfied with what has been done so far for them. Mind you, if you look at the stats, young people have literally taken over, the data when it comes to how many people are voting in this country. And so there should be a place for them at the table, and we just have created one for you.
And to complement that, we have Young Voters' Voices, a segment as well on Ghana Tonight. The new one as well coming up after this is Agenda. Agenda is going to set the agenda, as the name suggests, on all the issues that are of importance going into this election.
Now, every Monday to Friday on 3FM 92.7, we have the 3FM Hot Edition campaign trail. And so we're also following all the candidates as they move across the length and breadth of the country, making promises, also reacting to concerns of people. We are there to cover it and to put it together and bring it to you right here on 3FM.
On 3FM Sunrise, hosted by Johnny Hughes and Helen Apiampofo, who are here, we're also going to be committed to giving you a lot more election analysis and content-specific segment dedicated for that on 3FM 92.7.
What's an election without, remembering some of the many historical moments that have gone by? And that is why on News Central on TV3, every weekday, we give you 5 minutes of what we call Ghana Remembers. And of course, we recall the memorable speeches, the moments, as well as all the great memorable times from the past.
First Take is going to be a 1-hour program, which is new as well, going forward on 3FM 92.7 Tuesdays and Thursdays, dedicated to political analysis. Hot on the plate.
Well, we're not leaving you out. If you love your social media, have you thought of us on X Spaces? Because Every single week, we come your way with very important issues and we discuss it. We give you the chance to use your voice to also speak to some of these issues as well. And so while we have it on social media, we encourage all of you to follow our social media pages at TV3 Ghana on X, on Instagram, and on Facebook.
Well, I can't be here and not talk about Ghana Tonight, which I host. It's at 10 p.m. on TV3, Monday to Friday, dedicated analysis to the elections going forward.
And one more before we play some videos for you. Now, if you're calling for a debate, how about you tune in to all our platforms and listen to your parliamentary candidates also go head to head and toe to toe for what they believe they can do for your constituency. And so we have the constituency debate, more than 275 constituencies. They will all be coming, of course, to share their thoughts on what they have for you, what their visions are, and why they believe you should vote for them to become your parliamentary candidate.
And then there is Key Point, the most watched television program on weekends, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., 11 a.m., beg pardon, on TV3. 4 hours of current affairs and election analysis with my distinguished guests, two of them who are here, Professor Ransford Jampo and Nana Henning-To as well. Thank you.
See something bad? Speak up. For democracy to work, we all need to hold elected officials accountable. So post, tweet, share your concerns, and add the hashtag #UseYourVoice. Join the Use Your Voice campaign today, and let's make Ghana great and strong.
Once you mention traveling, Canada, US, that's when you get to see like a little bit of hope in the person's eyes, because there's nothing for you here.
My reality check hits on how the economy is faring when I tried to buy in Kosiane Meko. She said, "Oh no, madam, it's 9 cedis." Hey.
These are the realities that sometimes when they come to us that we should vote for them, they don't seem to understand. Look, people are suffering. Forget all the sweet vibes.
You can't even save money. The money you are saving will end up saving you one time. It's to me, like you are saving money, but
are you saving money or the money is saving you? That's the question for today.
Tesla, has a dream car. Because I'm
a youth, so I'm much concerned about the unemployment rate in Ghana.
Yeah, he has done a lot of us. For us, that is why we are supporting people. You stay in the house for 1.5 years. You go to school 1.5 years. Yeah, you call 3 years. You so. Na mini aketwa 1.5.
And you are welcome back. It's the official launch of your Election Command Center here at Media General. And as you can see, we have our Group COO and Group CEO behind us. We also have our colleagues and our very special guests who are also reps from the various political parties and groupings. And they're all here at that point, which is very memorable. We're just about to unveil our new logo and also officially launch your Election Command Center.
And rightly so, we're going to hand over now to the Group CEO who has a few words, and we would unveil this logo, which is going to lead us into the next 100 days here on your Election Command Center.
Thank you very much, Alfred. Thank you all for honoring our invitation. And so on behalf of the board, management and staff of Media General, I hereby declare the coverage of the elections at the ECC duly launched.
Right. This is it. So at this point I say hip, hip, hip.
Hooray.
Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray.
Wonderful. That's the logo.
Yes. All right.
Wonderful. This is wonderful. Let's put our hands together. Thank you very much. Please kindly take your seats. Thank you so much. And everything on that logo has a meaning. And that's what we're pointing to you. So it's not just a logo. It's a representation of our values and our commitment to bringing you everything you need to know here on your Election Command Center. So this clearly reflects who we are and what we intend to do in the next 100 days. This is your Election Command Center.
I'm sure you're watching and you're saying, hey, Keche. Well, indeed. And we still have more for you. And so don't worry. At this point, we're also going to unveil our official promo ahead of the 2024 general elections. Please take a look.
Analysis, results.
Facts, analysis, results.
Yes.
This is your Election Command Center, and rightly so. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this on our TV screens, and that's why you don't need to flip your channel. Stay with us across all Media Journal platforms.
I think we've convinced our viewers, first of all, that this is the channel that you need to stay on. And so we hope that you stay with us all through till the end of the general elections and even beyond. And so thank you all so much for staying with us. Thank you to those of you who are in here as well for honoring our invitation. We're very grateful to all of you. And thank you to the team that worked on ensuring that we have a very impressive launch as well. We appreciate your efforts. God bless you.
The 100 days count starts today. My name is Alfredo Kanse.
And my name is Bella Mundi, and this is your Election Command Center.
Thank you for coming.